Beyond the stereotype, the multifaceted Vikings, the Vikings. The very word conjures up images of fierce warriors, horned helmets, and long ships sailing into battle. These images have been popularized by countless movies, TV shows, and books, painting a picture of the Vikings as relentless marauders who lived for conquest and plunder. While there's truth to these depictions, the Viking Age, spanning roughly 800 AD to 1100 AD, reveals a far more complex and fascinating story. This era was not just about raids and battles, it was a time of significant cultural, economic, and social development. The Vikings were a people of many talents and interests, and their influence extended far beyond their fearsome reputation. The Vikings were not just brutal raiders, but skilled explorers, traders, artisans, and storytellers. They navigated the treacherous seas with unparalleled expertise, discovering new lands and establishing trade routes that connected distant parts of the world. Their craftsmanship was renowned, with intricate jewelry, weapons, and ships that showcased their advanced skills and artistic sensibilities. Their impact on European history, culture, and geography is undeniable, reaching far beyond their Scandinavian homeland. They founded settlements in places like Iceland, Greenland, and even North America long before Columbus set sail. These settlements became hubs of cultural exchange, where the Vikings interacted with local populations, sharing knowledge, technology, and traditions. This essay delves into the multifaceted world of the Vikings, exploring their origins, their impact, and their eventual integration into the fabric of medieval Europe. We will examine how their society was structured, the roles of men and women, and the myths and legends that have survived through the ages. By understanding the full scope of their contributions, we can appreciate the Vikings not just as warriors, but as a people who shaped the course of history in profound ways. Their story is one of daring sea voyages, fierce battles, and a rich cultural tapestry woven with myths, legends, and a unique way of life. The sagas and poems they left behind offer a glimpse into their world, filled with gods, heroes, and epic adventures. These stories have endured for centuries, captivating the imaginations of people around the globe. From the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the shores of North America, the Vikings left their mark on the world, shaping the course of history in ways that continue to resonate today. Their voyages across the Atlantic were feats of navigation and endurance, demonstrating their unparalleled seafaring skills. These journeys were not just about exploration, they were about survival, trade, and the quest for new opportunities. Join us as we journey back in time to uncover the truth behind the legend, to understand the Vikings, not just as fearsome warriors, but as explorers, traders, and cultural innovators. We will explore their daily lives, their beliefs, and the legacy they left behind. By looking beyond the stereotype, we can see the Vikings for who they truly were. A dynamic and influential people who played a crucial role in shaping the medieval world. Emerging from the north, the Scandinavian roots. The story of the Vikings begins in the rugged and breathtaking landscapes of Scandinavia, a region that has long captured the imagination of historians and adventurers alike. To truly understand the Vikings, we must first journey to their homeland, Scandinavia. This land, with its dramatic coastlines, dense forests, and expansive fjords, played a crucial role in shaping the Viking way of life. This region, encompassing modern-day Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, provided the backdrop for the Vikings' emergence. Each of these countries contributed unique elements to the Viking culture, from Denmark's fertile plains to Norway's towering mountains and Sweden's vast forests. Theirs was a world shaped by a harsh yet beautiful landscape where towering mountains met deep fjords and long, dark winters gave way to brief, vibrant summers. The changing seasons dictated their way of life, with the long winters spent preparing for the short, intense summers. The Vikings, or Norsemen as they were also known, were not a unified nation, but rather a collection of independent chiefdoms and kingdoms bound by common cultural and linguistic ties. These chiefdoms often competed with each other, but they also shared a sense of identity and purpose that united them in times of need. Life in Scandinavia was challenging, with limited arable land for farming. The rocky terrain and harsh climate made agriculture difficult, forcing the Vikings to be resourceful and resilient. They relied on a combination of farming, fishing, and trading to sustain their communities. The sea, however, provided a lifeline. The vast coastlines and numerous waterways offered abundant resources and opportunities for travel. The Vikings became skilled sailors, using the sea to connect with distant lands and cultures. It was a source of food, a means of transportation, and a path to exploration and trade. The sea allowed the Vikings to venture far beyond their homeland, establishing trade routes and settlements across Europe and beyond. The Vikings, renowned for their seafaring skills, developed advanced shipbuilding techniques, crafting sturdy longships capable of navigating both rivers and open seas. These ships were not only practical but also a symbol of their ingenuity and craftsmanship. These ships, adorned with fearsome dragon heads, became a symbol of Viking might and a testament to their mastery of the waves. The dragon heads were believed to ward off evil spirits and intimidate their enemies, showcasing the Vikings' blend of practicality and mysticism. The Vikings' connection to the sea was evident in their artifacts, from intricately designed tools and weapons to everyday items that reflected their maritime lifestyle. These artifacts provide a glimpse into the daily lives of the Vikings and their deep connection to their environment. The harsh Scandinavian environment also influenced the Vikings' spiritual beliefs and practices. They worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each representing different aspects of their world, from the sea to the sky. Their rituals and stories were deeply intertwined with the natural world around them. Today, the legacy of the Vikings can still be seen in the landscapes and cultural heritage of Scandinavia. The region's history is preserved in its museums, archaeological sites, and the traditions that continue to be passed down through generations. As we explore the Scandinavian roots of the Vikings, we gain a deeper understanding of how this remarkable culture emerged from the interplay between people and their environment. The rugged beauty of Scandinavia not only shaped the Vikings' way of life, but also left an indelible mark on their legacy. The Viking Age dawns, a time of raids and conquests. This era, spanning from the late 8th century to the early 11th century, was characterized by the seafaring Norse warriors known as Vikings. They embarked on expeditions that would forever alter the course of European history. The year 793 AD marked a turning point in history, the beginning of the Viking Age. This pivotal moment is often associated with the infamous raid on the monastery at Lindisfarne, an event that would echo through the annals of time. This period was inaugurated by a daring raid on the monastery at Lindisfarne, an island off the coast of Northumbria in England. The attack was not just a simple act of piracy, but a calculated strike that demonstrated the Vikings' naval prowess and their ability to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. The raid, swift and brutal, sent shockwaves through Europe. Monks, who were the keepers of knowledge and culture, were slaughtered or taken as slaves, and the monastery's treasures were looted. This act of violence shattered the relative peace of the British Isles and announced the arrival of a new force on the world stage, the Vikings. It shattered the relative peace of the British Isles and announced the arrival of a new force on the world stage, the Vikings. Their longships, sleek and fast, became symbols of terror as they could navigate both open seas and shallow rivers, allowing the Vikings to strike deep into the heart of Europe. Lindisfarne was just the beginning. The Vikings, driven by a combination of factors including overpopulation in their homeland, political unrest, and a thirst for wealth and glory, continued their raids with relentless ferocity. Over the next 3 centuries, Viking raids and conquests would target settlements and monasteries across Europe. From the British Isles to the coasts of Francia, Spain, and even as far south as North Africa, no region was safe from their reach. They ventured south to Francia, Spain, and even North Africa, leaving a trail of plundered wealth and fear in their wake. Their raids were not just about looting. They also established trade routes and settlements, integrating themselves into the very fabric of European society. Their motives were complex, driven by a combination of factors, including overpopulation in Scandinavia, political unrest, and a thirst for wealth and glory. The harsh Scandinavian climate and limited arable land pushed many to seek fortunes abroad. Additionally, internal conflicts and the desire for adventure and prestige played significant roles in their expansion. Whatever their reasons, the Vikings' impact on Europe was profound, reshaping political boundaries and leaving an indelible mark on the continent's history. Their legacy can be seen in the cultural and genetic influences they left behind, as well as in the many place names and archaeological sites that still bear witness to their presence. The Viking Age was a time of transformation where the old world was challenged and a new era of exploration and conquest began.